Welcome back to Stocklabs, another market recap. We are into the last week of September. So final week of the third quarter, and after that it'll be October. So this week was, okay for the market overall. We had Qs up 9/10, Dow was up 0.5%, S&P also up around 0.5%, slightly more. IWM down 0.5%. And had crude backing off 3.5%, and EM was up big, 6.5% for the week. This EM fund is primarily Chinese stuff, so China has kind of ramped up. I mean, I think the government over there is sort of mandating stimulus and lower rates and blah 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 and all of that stuff. So Chinese stocks caught a bounce this week, even though they're terrible overall and mostly just scam companies. So, yeah. We've also had gold up about 1%, basically hanging out near all-time highs for gold. And, yeah, that's basically that. So, leadership stocks. We've got Tesla up 9.5%, now up 5% for the year. So I mentioned, I think in the prior recap, that it was so close to going back to unchanged year to date. It kind of got there and went through in the past week. So nice job for everyone involved there. We've got Nvidia up 4.5%, back to 120, still off the highs, but sellers are having a hard time pushing this stock. Not even really getting it down toward 100. It's sort of been bouncing up and down week to week, but mainly in the same place. Facebook up 1% for the week, near all-time highs. Google flat-ish, not really near highs. So yeah, Apple flat-ish to down. Having an okay year. Microsoft down. And Amazon also down 1.5 to 2%, so kind of whatever. If we look at the week to date for industries, basically healthcare was down, but everything else was slightly up and did okay. So, I mean, nothing too crazy as far as leading. I mean, utilities were up 0.8. Tech was up 1.8%, which actually that's a lot better than what the NASDAQ was. So tech overall did better than the index, but, this was the strongest. The rest were sort of in line-ish with the indices. Basic materials 0.5%, consumer 1%, financials flat, industrials 0.7, services 1%, whatever. And if we look at subsectors, we got a handful that are up over 5%. So copper, semiconductors sprinkled in here in a bunch of places, some other industrial metals, aluminum, steel, iron, and like we mentioned, the Chinese stocks up big. So yeah, kind of the China trade was the big winner for the week. Everything else kind of did okay, but nothing too special. On the downside, okay, actually we don't have anything that's down 5%, but we've got a couple, gene editing, oil and gas, some regional bank type stuff, biotech. These were down, but not egregiously. So let's check out the breadth by market cap. 1 to 5 billion cap stocks up 1%, 5 to 10 billion up 1.4, 10 to 50 billion up 1.8, pretty solid week there. 50 to 100 billion up 1.2, and TerraCaps also up 1.2. So you could sort of see that overall the week was pretty good. Everything up over 1%. kind of across the board. Oh, whoops. And there wasn't anything like, we didn't have any of this stuff where the larger ones were much better than the smaller ones. So pretty even breadth overall as far as how the distribution went for returns. And if we look at coming week, Stocklabs likes a few things on here. So we've got cannabis, we've got financials bullish, Nvidia bullish, China bear ETF is bullish, so bearish China. Maybe that trade cools off from the prior week. Midcaps bullish, Ethereum bullish, industrials bullish, and some cancer ETF is bullish. If you look at the inverse, okay, oil is bearish, so that's natural gas. Real estate bear is bearish, so bullish real estate. And Mexico bearish, ultra short silver is bearish, so bullish silver. Miners are bearish, and some Cali carbon ETF is bearish, which I'm just going to ignore. Overall, yeah, I mean, I think for the end of the third quarter here, probably you're just going to see a general trend upwards, keep the market sort of pinned near the highs for the end of the quarter. And then once we close that out, we'll see how things open up in October. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, nothing really to worry about as far as the market goes. And you're kind of smooth sailing just to press the current trend. So that's all from me. Hope you guys have a good week out there. And I'll be back next week once we're into October and see how things are going. Talk to you later. Bye.